Maria Dealers. I told you guys that I would have a video for you showing you the curriculums that I use. So, y'all, these are my curriculums. I chose Brain Quest this year. Usually I just use what, books that I had because my children are right behind each other with the grades. So I have the PreK and kindergarten. These two are Stefania's books. You see, she always wants to work in these. You see what this book looking like. So she always Geneva, she always, Mommy, can I do this page? Mommy, can I do this page?
And she liked the pages where she can trace the letters too.
Yeah, right. So then, she does her little stuff. She wanted to go all the way to the back of the book where she haven't even got yet. And then I tell her, she's like, Mommy, can I do this? I'm like, no. Well, why not? Like, you ain't got there yet. So we trying to get on up there. But she wants to just do everything. You see where she colored her little alphabets. She colored her little alphabet.
She colored the big A on one of them.
Yeah, she did. She could, because I told all the big A's supposed to be red. So a child is gonna do exactly what you tell them to do. All the big A's are red.
It looked pink pages. On the camera.
It's the red violet. Because I couldn't find the red crayon. Actually, Stefania has her curriculum for this year, pre-K, and next year. This is next year's curriculum, as you can see. This don't look bad. There's that book right there, because she's not working in this one yet.
I have to always take that one from her because she be wanting to work in that one, but she not in that grade yet.
Oh, yeah, I believe you, because the corner kind of bent.
But she don't really have that one much.
Okay. This right here, this is Jalicia's Brain Quest. She's 3rd grade. Saraya's 4th grade. This is her Brain Quest book.
And I'm 6th.
And they have everything. Yes, Geneva. Geneva's 6th grade. That's my little camera woman. That's Geneva. That's who you hear talking in the background.
Hello.
So this is Geneva's. This is actually Geneva's last year doing Brain Quest. Her first and last year doing Brain Quest. Because like I said, I wanted to do a little something different. I'm usually using some online curriculum or something like that. But this year I chose the workbooks. And believe it or not, it's a lot easier for me with having multiple children, homeschooling. These are Leah's books. These are her workbooks. I use Spectrum for her. And this is what Geneva's going to be using next year. Spectrum. Leah is 8th grade. So there's her Spectrum math, language arts. Actually, they have several kinds of language arts. Reading and writing are also language arts, but they have them in different, categories. So this is just the regular language arts. And she has her reading, which she hasn't really done anything. She did a couple of them in reading, because right now in reading I have her doing a book report right now. So she's reading her chapters and doing her summary. So here's her writing and science.
These are colorful.
Yeah. So basically, what I do, these have all the subjects. They have a lot, all the subjects. These Brain Quest books are actually one whole year of schoolwork. Now, in DC is, it's different in most states, but DC is actually a district, So we have to do language arts, math, social studies, art, science, health, and phys ed. Okay? We have to do all of those. Now, I add home economics and life skills, home ec/life skills. That's what, That's what I call it. Now, I actually got in touch with a fellow homeschooler, and she does the same thing. So basically what I do and how I set up the schedule, I use a planner, a computer. I use a planner on a computer. And what I do is with these workbooks, I'll assign them pages, different pages and different subjects to do. And they have their own science, but we also do group work. When you have multiple children in your homeschooling, group work is key. Okay? Group work is key. You can do group work like science, okay, for instance. In science, they have their own science in these workbooks in here. But on Fridays, we're working on the periodic table. So that's what we're doing this year. We're working on the periodic table. And the way I had that set up is they're going to start out learning non-metals. Once they do non-metals, we're going to move on to halogens. Now, the way I got it set up for this activity, they're going to need a poster board, index cards, markers, or crayons, color pencils, whatever they decide to use. And they're going to need glue. And this is, in case you want your children to do this, those of you who are homeschooling. So what they're going to do with that poster board and all those other things, they're going to remake the periodic table. Okay, they're going to make the periodic table themselves. Okay, so they're going to learn about each non-metal, and they're going to get the information down. We're going to, they're going to learn this. I usually take my laptop and hook it up to my TV, and I type the notes, or I already have them typed up so it'll pop up on the screen and they'll just write their information down. That's how we take notes. They like it better when I'm typing, so so I'll just type it and let them write it down. But anyway, to make a long story short, they're going to take those, they're going to write the information down, and they're going to color it. They're going to make up their own colors, and they're going to glue it onto the poster board as they get more elements. So they're going to spend a week on one, and then the next one they spend another week. They're going to do a poster board. They're going to do a booklet with the information. So they'll have their own periodic table along with a booklet with each element in it. So they can know what each element is. All the information is going to be in the book. So it's like a periodic table with a guide is what they're going to have. And, this is how I make things fun for them. You put, and also how I would combine art with science. So basically, we're killing two birds with one stone. That's another thing. When you have multiple children in homeschool, you can do group work and you can combine subjects. That is one of the things I love to do. Group work and combining subjects. We're going to be taking you guys on that journey with us. So be looking for those videos, where we do the periodic table. So you're going to be with us on that from start to finish. Okay, so now I have a few tips of my own that I would, suggest that you all do, especially if you have multiple children. Field trips. You can, do field trips. We're trying to go on some epic field trips this year, So,
like Great Wolf Lodge and everything.
Great Wolf Lodge in Geneva.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
and
is
the
how
Air and Space Museum and the African American Museum, because I love going to those kind of museums.
Excuse me, she get real excited when we talk about field trips. Okay, she does. She gets excited when we talk about field trips. She keep talking about the Great Wolf Lodge, but this is how we're going to do things, okay? First, it's just like we do with reading, where they have an educational book, okay? You read an educational book, and then we move on to a fun book. And we're going to start doing deer time, probably start doing deer time on Monday. And deer time is something that I used to do in school. My teachers, we used to have to do that in school. It stands for drop everything and read. So they would have us read for like 15 minutes before class starts. I don't know if they still do that in the public school, but some things I actually do with my children used to do when I was growing up, going to school. So now, back to these field trips. Okay, so basically, I brought that up to say with field trips, it's going to be the same thing. You do an educational field trip. The field trips are always fun for them anyway, but you do an educational field trip, and then we can do a fun field trip. But field trips like the Great Wolf Lodge and the amusement parks like Six Flags and stuff like that, those are field trips that I would have them earn as like an end of the year field trip or something like that, But it's you could do some pretty good field trips. Aquarium, trying to take them to Baltimore to the aquarium or to a zoo or something like that. I actually want to take them on a cruise for an end of year field trip. I want to take them on a cruise. So I'm trying to work on that. But anyway, as far as the tips, please, you guys, if you are a homeschooler, and I will bring this up with every single video that I do pertaining to homeschooling. Okay? Homeschool Legal Defense Agency, HSLDA.com. Please go on that website. I will put that website in the description box below. Okay? You guys go on that. You can see what rules, what guidelines you need to follow for your state. You can get parent and student IDs, which will actually come in handy for discounts. And as I said in a previous video, I'm doing my research so I don't give you guys any wrong information. I can tell you guys exactly what places you can go to and get these discounts. Co-ops. I use the Homeschool Buyers Co-op. I use their lesson planner. It's a home planner. I'm gonna put that link in the description box as well. But I use their planner and it comes in handy, y'all. I paid like $65 for a full year for this lesson planner. And it's not just for homeschooling. You can utilize this planner for your household chores, your shopping list, anything. You can do notes. And if your children, like my two oldest children, have their own email addresses, you can email your children to-do lists, little reminders, and be sure that they check on that. If you're into foreign language, like this year, my children are going to be doing Spanish. Download the app, Duolingo. Duolingo is awesome.
The one with the green owl on the front.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can go on the computer too if you don't have if your children don't have a phone. Like I got my children tablets. My two oldest children have tablets. So so they're going to be doing Duolingo. They can download it on their tablet. I actually plan on getting them some computers as well, some laptops, so they can go online whenever they feel like, doing a Duolingo. Now, for those things like that, because we actually add them, I have them do that once a week. They can go on Duolingo at least once a week. So I have them scheduled for that every Friday. But that's just on the schedule. They can do that in their spare time. And I have a sheet. I don't even have that book with me. A login sheet. Okay, whenever they start Duolingo, they have to sign in. Okay, those come in handy as well. You make up a sign-in sheet. You can go on Pinterest and print you out some free sheets. But I just make my own because a lot of those are like for work. So they have to sign in, and they have to put the date, and then they have to put what time they started. And once they get the start time, and once they do it, they have to put what time they finished on there. So basically they have to do Duolingo where I can see them and I can actually hear the lessons going on. So, that's basically, and that's how they earn their bucks too. I do Queen Bucks. That's my reward system, Queen Bucks. When they get a certain amount of Queen Bucks for doing lessons, they get a certain amount of Queen Bucks for chores. I also have a login sheet for when they do their chores. They have to sign their name. They have to put what chore they have for that day. They have to put what time they started. And even though 2 hours is more than enough time, if they exceed 2 hours, they get deducted points. If it's not done correctly, they have to go and do it until it's correct, and that also goes towards their home ec life skills grade. If they do it and they do it correctly, and I don't have to go down behind them and say, you need to do this. No, you have to do that correctly. You know what I'm saying? They get all of their Queen points. Queen Bucks, I'm sorry. They used to be Queen points, but I turned them into Bucks because I have it so that they can purchase things with them. So if I go to a store or something like that, we go grocery shopping, I'm like, Mom, they will ask me for like little chips, which is, every now and then I'll let them get chips or like a little candy bar. They have to spend a certain amount of Queen Bucks to get that. And if they want to go out, like let's say they want me to take them out to eat or something like that, they spend a certain amount of Queen Bucks. Then the whole punishment reward system comes in handy. Okay, it comes in handy. It ensures that they do all their work. They do whatever chores that they're supposed to do, and it teaches them, how to be self-sufficient. So when you get in the habit of teaching your children certain things, how to cook, how to clean, all of that stuff, getting their work done, prioritizing, it's going to stick with them, So when they get older, they're going to do everything they're supposed to. What's that face, Geneva? All right, everybody. As you can see, I got somebody here with me. This is Nassim, and he's getting stuff all over the place. So I'm going, So I'm gonna have a mess to clean up. But like I was saying, they have to earn things that they have to earn their privileges with Queen Bucks. So this is Nassim. Say hi, Nassim.
I'm so cute.
And he in here just he wanted to be up under me. The Nutella and almond butter sandwich didn't really do nothing. He got it all on my skirt. Don't eat that. What you supposed to do with that? Good baby. So yeah, they have to earn their privileges with Queen points. And we're gonna, a lot of the things that we're gonna be doing, we're gonna take you guys on that journey with us. And he means business. And your hands on sticky.
I want some water.
Okay, well, how you supposed to ask for water?
I want some water.
How are you supposed to ask?
I want some.
What you supposed to say?
Peas.
Good baby.
I want some.
Okay, so we're gonna get you some water when we finish, okay? Let's put that in there. Okay, so basically that's pretty much all. I touched base on the curriculum, what few tips I could think of. I'm going to put the links to the Homeschool Legal Defense Agency in the description box below, and I'm also going to put the website to the Homeschool Buyers Co-op in the description box below either. And none of these agencies are sponsoring this video. This is just something that I feel like people should have access to, especially if you're homeschooling. If you're thinking about homeschooling, it's better to go ahead and just start before you start home. It's better to get this information before you start homeschooling, so you can have a heads up, so you pay your membership, and whether it be monthly or yearly, for the Homeschool Legal Defense Agency, you can just go ahead and join, so you are already you already have the information that you need.
What you doing, Nasim?
Want some cheese.
I want some cheese. Okay, hold on, babe. You got little crumbs all on my skirt there, baby.
It's okay, Mommy.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
I get it, Mommy.
You gonna get it?
I'm gonna get it.
You gonna get it? Come on, got a vacuum.
I'm gonna get it.
Y'all,
I'm gonna get it.
Okay, y'all.
Okay.
So, yes, okay. You want to help me? You want to help me tell the subscribers good night? You want to help Mommy tell the subscribers good night? Good night. Good night. Okay, y'all have a blessed night.
Good night from me too.
All right. You gonna keep on singing it, girl. Night. All right. See y'all later in the next upload. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any video requests, email us at homeschoolroyalty2017 at outlook.com.